Hello, everyone. This is a series that we created of all the big weather events we seen last winter from 2023 to 2024. So we already did the spring episode and we're preparing some other episodes too of the summer and last year. So let's see some big things that happened last winter. So last December we went on a trip to the Pyrenees near France and Spain, and then it was very nice the fall colors on the way, on the trees and everything. And then on the first night there, here we saw some very nice views of the night sky, so it was very beautiful. And then on the first day we saw a little bit of snow on the ground and some tree branches, so it was very nice as well seeing that fluffy snow. And on the second night, there was some cool views of the night sky as well. So it's pretty nice. And then later, on the second day, we saw some trails there in the mountains, some very beautiful trails with a river. There were like parts of the river that were frozen, some snow on the rocks and everything. So it was pretty nice. And some cool clouds too. And then we kept exploring. We saw like a frozen lake and some snow on the river and everything. So it's very nice to see like the ice and everything. And then we kept walking. We saw some more views of the river, those cool trails there. And yeah, and then we saw some like horses or donkeys too. Pretty nice views. There was like that the snow and a pine cone in the sun was very nice to see. And then like on the next day after that, some very cool things started happening. So we left home to drive through the mountains, and then I started seeing some cool cloud formations there near the mountain tops. And then we kept driving, and I saw some views from the car, and they started looking like some lenticular clouds on the mountains there. So I was really excited because I had never seen a cloud like those. I might have seen one or another, but not as defined as those. So it was a very special occasion to see those rare clouds. And then we kept going. We stopped near the sea there, and then there was this very big mountain, that cloud on the top, and the shape on the cloud was starting to get very interesting. So one of my best shots of that cloud was this one. Like there was that beautiful lenticular cloud on top of the mountain, and the mountain below. So this was one of the best images. I really loved that. And then we drove back, and on the way back there was some cool clouds as well. There was like one small lenticular cloud in every mountain top, so it was very nice. This was one of the best pictures too. So let's see. And we also got some more cool pictures closer up of those clouds. Really special. Then the sunset started closing in, and those clouds go more like a yellow tone, but they're still pretty nice. And there was like this big cloud there on the mountain. It looked like lenticular with some shades of yellow from the sun. So that was like massive. It was very cool to see. So a very nice occasion. And then the sunset was very beautiful too, there in the high parts of the mountain. And then the night sky was very beautiful once again there. And let's see here. On the next day, we start getting some mixed precipitation, a little bit of snow, so you can see like some wet snow. This was very nice to see because one of the first times I seen like those wet snow and stuff, so pretty nice. We saw some cool, some cute animals as well, some squirrels and reindeer. And let's see. And that night we saw some light snow. This was actually snow falling, some light snow. So pretty nice too. And then we went back home the following day. Some cool views on the way back. And now let's see. On December 12th to 13th, we were back home, we saw some very nice sunrises in the morning from the window. So this was a cool thing to share as well. Some beautiful sunrises. And then on December 21st, I flew to Brazil to visit my family. And on the way there, saw some very cool clouds too. This was over northern Africa, I think. So like some puffy cumulus clouds, very nice. And I'm showing this because this was still over the northern hemisphere, so it was technically still winter there. So, but we'll make another series about the Brazilian summer storms that we saw. Some very cool storms there, so stay tuned for that. But continuing with the winter, on December 30th, I think my mom was still in the northern hemisphere. She saw some very nice sunrises, still some very cool pictures of the sunrise. And then let's see, on January 14th, I was already back and saw some cool cloud formations, some like cirrus clouds and some puffy cirrocumulus, some very cool formations there, those wavy clouds. Yeah, very interesting. And then on January 26th, I saw a cool cirrus cloud, nice to share as well. And on February 2nd, like we saw a very beautiful sunset. This was my mom actually that did a video, so a very beautiful sunset. And then let's see, on February 8th, there was also a cool sunrise. I think this was sunrise, I'm not sure, or it might be the sunsets, but very cool too. Then on February 10th, uh, let's see, we saw some cool that storms. There was more instability on that day. There was some storms in the ocean. It's hard to see here, but there was like some cumulonimbus clouds in the ocean and some rain falling there. So some interesting stuff too. And on February 14th, uh, there was a cool sunset as well, like in the sea there and the trees and everything. And let's see, on February 23rd, there was a cool storm in the morning. This was actually like 6 a.m. or something. I woke up to see it, so it was pretty nice. And later on February 23rd, some rain puddles because of the rain left over from those storms. And later on February 24th, there was still some instability, and we saw like a cool cloud in the sea. It wasn't a thunderstorm because there wasn't any lightning or no heavy rain on radar, but it definitely had the shape of like a cumulonimbus. It was very nice. And then later that day, we saw some more rain over the ocean, some cool cumulus clouds in the evening in the ocean there. So very interesting stuff, some cloud formations there on the top right, so very nice. Then February 26th was a very interesting day. So we had a cool rainbow like in like 5 p.m. in the afternoon, and it was very nice. There were some rain showers lingering around and that cool rainbow. But at night there was a big thunderstorm in another city nearby. I was at the rooftop. Then there was like constant lightning, a lot of lightning on that storm. Here's some other images. These aren't the best, but you can kind of see the lightning. So it was very cool seeing this storm, a bunch of lightning from far. This was very cool. This image is not great, but this was a cool storm. And on the 10th and 11th of March, there were some cool cloud formations too. We saw like some flat clouds with some cool shapes. And this was actually, I think that there was a thunderstorm far away and some cumulus clouds on the mountains there. So this was interesting. And then there was like some storms, some rain later on the 11th, I think, or the 10th. And some interesting views too. And then in early spring, like we saw some cool clouds the first days of spring. And then check out our spring storm series for more on the spring there. So some cool clouds too. And I hope you enjoyed this series and seeing these very cool cloud formations, and see you in